Not even worth finishing that one. That was incredibly trash of the game to do that twice. Bugged movement and just shitty hitboxes all around. It wasn't really worth finishing from failed blind arsonist onwards, but I wanted to at least, you know, finish a run, but then that happened. It's like, actually, how about fuck off? Game sucks, next run. This control scheme is just so bad still. It's like the worst thing about running this game. The control scheme just still doesn't work. After dozens of hours of getting used to it, it's still garbage. There will never be a universe in which this is a good control scheme to play a game with, and every single fucking online reviewer who ever, like, praises the fixed control schemes of the new versions of Remake can kindly all go jump in a canal, because they are the reason this genre, like, fucking sucks now. Because people are too pea-brained to understand when forward means forward. So they must inflict this shit on me. Appreciate the art. Trying to find my Twitch ever since you saw my run at GDQ. You know that GDQ displays the Twitch stream, like, on the screen during those. I sound like I'm being glib, but, like, it is literally on the screen during every GDQ run. Rumming. I need a piss is what I need. I should have taken one in between the reset. Doors. Hi, Odeon. You can find it on Twitch anyway. Right. No, I think I changed my name at some point. Okay, game sucks. Reset. The text fucked up. Wow, the text keeps fucking up. Why is the text bad? There we go. Holy shit. This game sucks. I'm taking a whiz.
James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else?
Where's the video game?
You were...
Shush. Yeah, I was talking about Windows 10 corruption in Silent Hill games earlier. Yeah, that kind of happened during that run. I don't know why, either, because I absolutely followed the correct steps. Yeah, I got game crashed into save file corruption, which is an excellent combo. Because Windows 10 doesn't like things very much. It's the only fucking... Okay, so like when operating systems don't like games, generally the default response of them is to just fail to run them. Windows 10 will try, but will also fuck the application up while it's running. Which is the thing I've never seen anything do before Windows 10. Like with Windows 8, either it ran or it didn't. But whereas like Windows 10 will actually fuck it up at runtime. Somehow. Like Silent Hill 4, I still haven't figured out how to work around this bug that Windows 10 causes, and I have no idea how or why Windows 10 is doing it. Where you try and use a key on a door, and the game will say, you use the Ghost's key, an item I don't have, and do not get until 3/4 of the way through the game. Will open the door with the Ghost's key that I don't have, and then just die. And I'm like, how? How has it done that? And it's not an isolated incident. I searched around for Silent Hill 4 Ghost Key problem, and it's a thing that happens to a lot of people trying to run Silent Hill 4 on Windows 10. Why does it do that? Why Ghost Key? Like, why the Ghost Key item? Like, what the fuck? It's a absolute mystery to everyone. It's also known to just randomly replace items in your inventory sometimes during gameplay of Silent Hill 2 and 3, which, like, again, no idea why it does that. Silent Hill 2 sometimes randomly crashes on quick load. I mean, sometimes Silent Hill 2 can just randomly crash. Yeah, Windows 10 sometimes just sets some flags, or does some shit that it's not supposed to. It's like actually messing with the game functions, and it's like, I have no idea how it does that. I have no clue. Like, that's a really mysterious thing. Like, visual problems and audio problems, fair enough. Like, that makes sense to me. How it starts fucking with the actual, like, gameplay happenings is super beyond me. Because Silent Hill 2 and 3 look fine on Windows 10. Silent Hill 2's got the single core looping issue, but that's not a Windows 10 problem. That's a problem since it has existed. That was a problem back when it came out. But otherwise, they look fine on PC. Good, even if you up the resolution. Which I have not done, clearly. Silent Hill 3 in particular is like super pretty on its high resolution. This is, yeah, I was gonna say, you mentioned that when you was at Good Old Games, like, worked there or, like, used it? Because GOG is a important fucking service in today's age. Especially when dealing with Windows 10, although like, DOSBox also helps a lot with running games in sort of like a secure environment. Just weather for you. Cool. I appreciate Good Old Games. Because GOG is one of the few services in existence that's actually, like, very often more convenient than piracy. Which is a hard bar to clear. Like, when you're dealing with super old games, it is in fact very often easier to just buy them off GOG, and then they fucking work. Rather than having to, like, you scout around for a copy, mount the ISO, and sometimes you gotta run it through DOSBox and other shit. It's like, ah! Hassle. Like, you can make it work if your brain is large, but games on GOG are cheap, and my time is finite. I will give you a $5 in order to skip this bullshit and just play a game. responsible for helping with launching the post-Soviet market support. Cool. That's actually quite interesting. I'm always interested in how these sorts of rollouts take place across the world. Because, like, Russia seems like quite a weird market. And they have a very strong PC gaming culture. Mostly because you can pirate things easier on PC. That sounds like I'm being glib, but I'm not. Half prices in Steam. You kind of need to. Like, that's the reason why they put that fucking whack block on, like, regional gift sharing on Steam, because if people were buying it from the Russian store for the savings. Also, look better, I guess. Which, I don't know, like, I thought the gift lock thing was kind of onerous, but at the same time, people were getting games at, like, 50% off, but you can't change the prices of the Russian games. Like, it's cheaper over there for a reason. Hint, economics. Whereas if the games cost, like, full whack, like, equivalent dollar exchange rate in Russian rubles, I think it is, it'd be fucking crazy expensive. Yeah, there is a good reason for regional pricing. Like, I've become familiar with this because I have a lot of Brazilian friends now. But it works the same way for Russia as well. Like, I read an article on Polygon recently about, like, the criticisms of Steam, where apparently, like, Steam automatically sort of, like, does estimates for regional pricing automatically, because, you know, what fucking dev is going to memorize 30 different currencies? And, you know, the devs who found out through, you know, their interview with Polygon, they got pissed off that their game was being sold at, like, 30% off in Brazil. And they were like, holy shit, I didn't realize it was selling at that much of a discount. It's like, yeah, because they won't fucking buy it at full price in Brazil. They don't have enough money. There's a reason for this, you shithead. Like, they don't get it. That article did not get that one bit, which is a shame, because, like, it's a really good article otherwise, but I hated that one bit of it. It's like, you do not get it. You have misunderstood. It's like, wow, I didn't understand that we were selling our game for this much off the dollar value, and it's like, yeah, because economics doesn't fucking work like that across the entire world. That's a miss. It's not a miss, I'm surprised. Doesn't even work like that in fucking Britain, and, like, Britain's relatively well off. Whereas, like, companies keep trying to do the exact, like, exchange rate of the dollar in the UK, and it's like, nope, doesn't work like that. Stop trying to charge me a tenner more. Doesn't, nope. Or worse, they do one-to-one with the dollar and try and charge me £60. Doesn't work like that. The pound is worth more. It's like, haha, we'll charge, like, the latest and greatest in bullshit, I think, is Red Dead 2, which is trying to charge, I think, £55. Which is like, no, that's not how regional pricing works. That's not what it should be. You get 50 at a max. The rest, like, that extra 5 pisses me off. That's cheeky. They're trying to break down the barrier of what a game actually fucking costs by sort of pushing the price up every so often, and it's like, no, you don't do that. It's also taking advantage of the fact the pound is weak right now, like, relative to the dollar exchange value because of Brexit, which is a thing that definitely occurred. So, like, we can price the pound higher now because it crashed relative to the dollar. Still not how it works. Just because the pound is weaker doesn't mean we have more. The purchasing power of the pound did not drop in the country. That doesn't mean you can charge more because it's weaker relative to the dollar. That isn't how economics works. Hi, Greenie. It's like, $60 is about 4... Yeah, it is. Like, 50 is still kind of, like, charging more. But, like, I will accept the rounding. Ideally, I'd like 45, but I know they're kind of pissy. You survived TwitchCon. Good on you. Good hustle. Yeah, like, I've seen games charging 55 quid. Like, Nintendo games also pull that shit a lot, where they charge 50 or 55 quid, and it's like, nope. Wrong. That's wrong. I know, I was really glad when Rock Paper Shotgun fucking, like, I read their review of Soul Calibur 6. Because that game's priced at 50, which, again, bullshit. This is wrong. And they were like $50, £50 is too expensive. Like, they were like, that is an enthusiast pricing. And it is too much money. And, like, that is the only editorial I've seen on that game that bothered to criticize the price point of it in the UK, because it's a UK publication. And I was like, thank you. Like, thank you, someone, for fucking acknowledging that. Because I've like, people just, I don't know, like, for some reason, this isn't something I see often. I criticize it a lot, because I'm angry. But games are more expensive over here, on the dollar value, than they should be. Especially currently, which is not how it should be. Yeah, I mean, the British economy is still relatively well off overall. So it's not like it's like, I'm poor, I cannot afford the video games or anything like that. But still, it's taking the piss. Like, it's a tax that is being applied for no fucking reason. Like, gradually trying to bump the prices up in the overseas markets and hope no one notices, and it's like, no thanks. Which is why I haven't bought Soul Calibur 6 yet. And I probably won't until it goes on sale, because I do not agree with that kind of price gouging. There's a Big Mac price over there. I don't know, actually. I don't buy Big Macs. But that's also why I like indie games, because Steam, for the most part, does the currency conversion, like, fairly well automatically. Like, sometimes it's a bit more, sometimes it's a bit less, but I'm not asking for, like, super perfection price exchanges or whatever. Like, you can round the numbers off if you fucking like. I'm not that bothered. But when you're charging sort of like an extra like 15%-ish, it's like, no thank you. So indie games often come out to be like 20 quid, 15 quid sometimes, and it's like reasonable. It's a reasonable price for a video game, I think. For those kinds of games, like a premium indie tends to run me about 20, 25 quid, and I'm like, that is acceptable. I will pay this amount for this video game. Whereas cheeky big publishers are trying to push the boundaries more and more about what's it, like, 60 quid is a fucking lot of money, dude. Like, I do want to play Red Dead 2, although, like, my interest in Red Dead 2 kind of slowly waned as time, like, as I saw more of the game, my interest in it sort of waned a bit, and it's like, ah. Game looks good, but eh. I can imagine an indie has more incentive to sort of, like, get it proper. But even then, you know, like, who has the time to memorize all of the currencies?
What's your name? Mary?
Plus, indie games are just in a more, like, they're in a smaller price bracket, so, like, the margins tend to be a bit less piss-takey. Whereas when you get to, like, large dollar amounts, a 10% markup becomes, like, actually quite a significant, like, chunk of scratch. Purchasing power is the relative term. The key thing. I hate this movement. And I'm mad about it, and that's why I play more indies these days. They price reasonably. Like, Lethal League Blades came out recently. £17, and it's like, Yes. That is a normal price. It's actually kind of a weird number, but like, that's correct. About. But yeah, I could also jive with the way Good Old Games does it, where you get like wallet funds based on the discrepancy therein. Like, that's one way of doing it. As long as the fact that there's actually a difference in how things are priced is acknowledged, that's all I fucking care about. I mean, it could be worse. It could be Australia. Those guys get owned for no reason. 6346. Thank you very much. Do I have to laugh at that? Oh. 9461. Nine four six one 6346.
I disagree.
Bobzilla, thanks for the tier 1 sub, my dude. I don't have like a fancy subgroup name or anything like that. 6346 9461. Better. Yeah, I'll have to actually remember them for GDQ. I mean, I have Couch, but also if I forget them, I don't really care that much. It's a marathon run, it's not that big of a deal. The punches. Yeah, well, I think I named my tier 1 sub the Punch Club because I'm a fucking idiot. Nevertheless, the subs are appreciated. Especially because I'm trying to actually recoup funds for my flight to GDQ and also the associated travel fees therein, because I actually have to like get a train down to London and get a flight and all that stuff. You know how expensive the trains are in this fucking country? It's a lot. They're a lot of money. I hate the train prices in this country. Can we delete the national rail and just, like, try again? Good split, y'all. Yeah, there's time to come off this run, clearly. So, first gold this stream? Yes. Is it a nothing gold, though? We don't know. We can find out. No, it's a real gold. I actually saved a second. Check the train prices in the UK. Obviously, it varies a whole lot, but when I checked train prices from my town to London, at the time of when I looked, were actually like 100 quid. Which is expensive. It's gone a bit down since then, because like train prices are a bit wonky like that, but it's still not like a cheap affair. But it was expensive when I looked. It'll probably go down because like they tend to get increasingly more. The funny thing with trains is that you need to book them somewhat in advance from when you plan on going, because if you book them last minute, they'll fuck you under the table. But if you book them incredibly far in advance, they will also fuck you under the table. You need to get in there in the middle. Book in advance, but not like as far as you possibly can in advance. Which is like nearly inverse to how it normally works. Yeah, word. The plane to GDQ, or to America, I suppose I should say, was like £700, which, oh my god. That's just the flight. I have to pay for, like, you know, the hotel on top of that, and also food to not die while I'm there, among other things. Like Metro. True, we do have a functioning rail system. It's just unusable to most of the populace because it's too expensive. Or at least unusable conveniently. You really have to plan around it. Do they have a buffet at AGDQ? No. I don't know why that hit auto mod. I've seen why automod hit that. Permitted term, fucking religion. Fucking brackets religion. It's Christ is a religious word and you put a swear word next to it, so that triggered automod. That's funny. Not even food for the runners? Nope. What kind of budget do you think GDQ has to work with? GDQ does not provide food. They sometimes, like, arrange food trucks to arrive at the venue. Because they did that for the one AGDQ that I attended because the hotel was in the middle of fucking nowhere. So they kind of had to, otherwise, like, people were gonna complain that there was, like, absolutely jack shit around to eat. But still, like, no, they do not, like, prepared... Like, the hotel offers breakfast, I guess. Like, that's a thing. It was a nice breakfast as well, actually. I had waffles. I had so much waffle. Yeah, like, GDQ itself doesn't subsidize any of the expenses involved for any of the participants. At least for the runners. I get what you're angling at, Evoli, and I agree, but that is not how it works. I wish that was how it worked, but this is America, you must remember. ESA actually did fucking provide food, incidentally. So therein lies a difference. Not like tofu, they mostly just supplied, like, popcorn and ice cream and other crap, but... You know, there was also the breakfast, like, that was also a thing, but they didn't provide, like, lunch and dinner. But then it was also in a busy city metropolis, so you were not strapped for options. Hey, what was I saying? Yeah, I get what you're angling at, but, like, no, GDQ does not subsidize any expenses at all for runners. They don't subsidize travel, they don't subsidize food, they don't subsidize any of the sort. Like, it's you have to pay your own way. And as much as I, like, kind of don't like that dynamic very much, because it's, as you say, the event isn't possible without runners, they also are in a position where if anyone actually wanted to get, like, uppity about that, they could just drop them. They could. There's so many people who would absolutely fucking kill for a shot at a GDQ run that you can't really bitch about it. Insert comment about labour unions here. Fuck the bend. The speedrun streamers need to rise up and demand better conditions. I mean, I still understand like the exchange involved with the GDQ or an ESA or a marathon or anything of the sort. So it's not like I'm like super bitter about it or anything. But at the same time, it sort of is like, you know, I am kind of paying a shit ton of money out of my own pocket to help that event run. And, you know, under the guise of, oh, I'm doing a nice thing for charity, except it's a fucking multi-million-dollar corporation at this point. So, is what I say to that, you know? I don't currently have a fully formed conclusion about that, but I give that a Because I'm also doing hosting duties now for GDQ. Like, at least for this one. I say now, as if I'm a permanent addition to the team. It's not really a thing for hosting. Yeah, So that should be fun. That'll, at the very least, that should be an interesting experience. I want to experience this. The responsibility of hosting. Watch me absolutely fuck it up 9 ways from Sunday when I get on mic. It'll be astonishing. Because I've never ever hosted an event before that wasn't my own. So that's, like, cheating. It's kind of a, you know, like, what's the first event I could host in order to get some much-needed practice in at such a skill set? Oh, I don't know. How about the biggest one of the fucking year? Good one, Punchy. Really good idea. But I sent my audition and they said yes, so I'm not saying no. Even though in an ideal universe, I would have liked to have cut my teeth on something a bit less high profile, you know? But if opportunity comes a knocking, I can't wait until I'm ready. I gotta go now. You've never trusted charity? I do not distrust the charities involved in GDQ. Like, Prevent Cancer Foundation has a good track record, Doctors Without Borders has a good track record. I see no problems involved with either of those. My thing with charities is just that I'm apathetic towards which one. Like, they both have a good track record. They both, you know, do a good cause. But I don't have any sort of, like, strong personal attachment to either. It's sort of like, yeah, sure. Like, as long as the money's going somewhere that's not terrible, it's sort of all the same to me. Good split. This run's pace is actually pretty good. I can't wait to lose it to not getting Blind Arsonist. As will happen 1 out of 6 times. Or 5 out of 6 times, rather. So, for instance, I am doing a run at ESA Movember, which is in cooperation with the Movember Foundation. So any donations that I receive during the month of November until the marathon, 50% of that will go towards the Movember Foundation. So I'm supporting that charity directly, or at least sort of vaguely directly. You know, that's also a fine charity. Like, it's kind of all the same to me. It's just charity all over the place. Plus, the event structure is kind of interesting, so I gotta put my money where my mouth is on that one, even though I don't suspect I'm likely to actually raise that much. It's kind of the funny thing with that whole... The structure of ESA Movember is that, like, before your run, they will announce the amount that you have managed to fundraise for the pot. That will then be passed on to the charity, and it's like... That feels like it could be a bit revealing. I missed the turn-off. They seem to have a lot of events. They didn't used to. They used to literally just have one a year, but they've expanded quite dramatically. That and they're testing the waters for new things. Like, oh, okay, that was the opposite direction of what I pressed, but good one. Like, they have one event that's the major event every year, ESA Summer. It's in the summer. That's why they call it the summer event. It's funny, that. Anyway, me being a smug asshole aside. ESA Winter only started existing as of last year, and ESA Winter is a much smaller scale event that sort of like... It attempts to be cozy. Like, they set up a smaller venue with a smaller amount of, like, attendees. And it's for, you know, it's like a very sort of... The thing Plank said about it was it attempts to replicate the feel of, like, older marathons, where it's kind of just, like, some guys in a hotel room. But, you know, fair enough. Like, I might be interested in that sort of thing if it was not sort of expensive for me to get to. Like, Sweden's not a super expensive journey, but I'm not, like, made of money. Like, something has to give at some point. It's not the most expensive journey, it's just the most easily, like, skippable on the list. Whereas I don't think I would want to miss ESA anymore. That being said, I haven't actually missed an ESA since I started going. But I was very dubious after the whole what happened to me at one of the events. But then the following event after that one was really fucking good. So, you know, I was convinced. I was swayed, so now I do not think I would skip an ESA. What the hell is this? Someone's tweeting me, and I can't see what they're tweeting about. Someone's tweeting about Silent Hill 2 in first person or something, which apparently only works on the PS2 version, which I can't stream. Well, I can actually, I just don't care. Apparently that's a thing. I need to think of goofier sub-incentives sometime. Yeah, as for how ESA works, it's like GDQ if it were European. This pace is good, fuck. It's gonna die. I'm not gonna get Blind Arsonist, that's a shame, because this is like the best pace I think I've ever had. Still, I'm getting back into the swing of this game. With relative ease, so that's promising. It's always a grind though, this one. Oops, fuck, that was bad. That's worse. James is an asshole. Oh, he stopped moving. Ugh, well, okay, that was terrible. I got the camera look walk bug twice there. If the game, for some reason, doesn't accept a movement input while you are holding the camera function button, James will just stop accepting movement. It's a bug that was fixed in 3, but it's still in this game. It also wasn't in 1, so I don't know what the hell was going on with that. 2 sucks. Either way, that was a fucking disaster. I think he's dead. Shot him a lot. Oh, monkey walking. Yeah, I guess. Something like that. I am not privy to the details. Yeah, you had to unlock the first-person view, though. Some people actually use it to run with. I don't. But some people do. I'm playing Silent Hill 2. I know. I run this game now. I have the world record in it. Like, all of them, actually. Fuck. I missed the rope. Is the run dead? Yes. It was second body. Unfortunately, I failed the RNG puzzle, so this runs out. One in 6. Can the run be revived? No. It is dead. If you fail that, the run is dead. 5 in 6 runs will just die. It is a fact of Silent Hill 2. If you go for that, which I do. Which I kind of have to at this point because it saves like 15 seconds. Do not cry for this run. Do not cry, for it was never truly alive in the first place. If you're really stupid, ask about person. Oh yeah, I never answered that question. My PB is the thing that you see on the screen in the splits. It's 39.43. For this category, at least, the any percent of this game. There are other categories, like New Game Plus categories, which I also have the record in. I should have put world record attempts in my stream title. I forgot to do that hot clickbait, you know? Even though the world records are mine, currently. Well, it's a fake PB because you're green. Nah, it's real. The super speed testing of blind arsonist didn't really go anywhere. Oh, okay, he took 2 shots for some reason. That's wrong. I can prove that's wrong, but whatever. Okay, I say it went nowhere. It went in a direction where I can tell you what the RNG seed is, like, what result the first body will be if I can see the number. But as far as how to manipulate it is concerned, I have made no further progress. I don't think you can. It shuffles every fucking frame. In order to manipulate it, you would need a sort of, like, fixed time from boot, which is really, like, nigh impossible to pull off with PC games. Because boot time varies. And it doesn't stop shuffling for nothing, so unfortunately it doesn't really go anywhere. It's unfortunate. Also, Jinso, hi, where the hell have you been? Saw you in Revo's chat a while ago as well. You've been like AWOL for 5 years. Free on Planet 2 still isn't out. Remarkable. Although in the time you've spent away, a lot of developments have occurred in terms of... I saved a second on the boat. Crazy. A lot of developments have occurred in terms of community relations. In that, for whatever reason, I'm now, like, fucking on actually good terms with Strife, which is wacky. I make fun of his turtlenecks, and he doesn't tell me to shut up. Is FP2 out? No. $2019, my dude. Probably mid. Fucking hell, that was a really good out of bounds as well. Was my best sub 39? Don't think so. Was it delayed? Not exactly. Like, okay, knowing what I know because I know the guy who makes the game, no. Knowing what everyone else knows because they communicate badly, yes. Like, development didn't hit a snag or, like, has taken an unexpected amount of time or anything. They just didn't convey very well that when they said, oh, this game, we hope to get it out by 2018, that was, like, sort of a very vague estimate. Like a very vague estimate. Whereas otherwise development's been going like quite smoothly from the point where they've said it. It's just like, ah, it's actually 2019. It was not delayed so much as they just kind of said a fucking year. And then people, like, you know, they took it as gospel, which, that's not people's fault. It was kind of, you know, the manner in which it was said implied a certain finality to it that didn't actually exist. This is why you don't say things like that unless you really mean it. A lesson I am repeatedly trying to teach them over and over again. If only they had a community manager of sorts. I feel like I do two jobs. Fish key. Ah, what a shame, dude. If this run had gotten Blind Arsonist, I would be on all sorts of pace right now. Yeah, I think, at the very least, the guy who doth make the game is a lot more comfortable in his, like, his process and workflow this time around. That is the impression I've gotten so far. I could be completely wrong, but seems to have a much firmer grip on what he's actually, like, about this time. Plus he has a team. Hello, Saiyan Private. That's a great name. I love that name. Fuck, this hotel's been quite good. I'm mad. It's not common for me to do no resets. I actually mostly do no resets of Silent Hill 2. It's like, I used to reset Freedom Planet a lot, like that much is true, but I think that's actually a mistake. Oh, this is Yon. That makes it better. It's the most Yonway fucking name ever. This saves 2 seconds, and I wasn't doing it because no one told me. I'm mad about that. I've done so many runs of this game without knowing that entering the doors that way saves 2 fucking seconds. It's like, okay, cool, video games. Oh, yeah, Silent Hill 1 and 3 have, like, very strong reset points very early on, whereas this game kinda... Actually, it kinda does as well, but I don't know, I just don't. My times in Silent Hill 1 are also a lot more optimized, so, like, if I shit the bed, I tend to need to reset it to get a groove going again, but maybe I should reset less, I don't know. What the fuck is this asshole doing in the way of the door? Move! Rude. James, for fuck's sake. Don't get spooked. Oh! Hello. This run is actually still alive. What the fuck? That's whack. That was a really good hotel. It's that time again. And now we use keyboard. The vaunted control style swap.
Mary?
What do you want, James?
I brought you some flowers.
Flowers?
I can't believe this run's still
What
alive. I
damn
failed blind
flowers?
arsonist.
Just go home already.
Mary, what are you saying?
Look. I'm disgusted.
By the switch to keyboard, you'll see.
You deserve flowers.
I'll explain. Because you want to use strafing controls on this section. Because strafing up these stairs sideways is faster than walking straight up them. Because the game actually doesn't let you run up these stairs. It just doesn't let you. It like hard blocks it. The stairs are specifically programmed to not let you run up them. The developers claim it's for dramatic tension. I think they did it to upset me. She's on the... Ugh. Shoot her again. Shoot her again. Yes! That's a PB? Yay! I'm surprised. That totally should have died. I failed blind arsonist and I still PB'd. What the fuck?